Okay, hopefully I'm in the right live. Hopefully.
Yeah, there's 27 waiting, I think.
Okay, I should be on. I mean, I've got to get to the live, but hopefully I'm in the right one.
I see you on YouTube now.
Oh, good.
On
Okay.
mine.
Yeah, I see it now. All right. Hi there. Maybe get in live chat. Hi, Shelley Joe. Hang on. Everything's going slow today. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Kevin. Elizabeth W. Linda. Kevin. I got you twice. Jeannie's talking about life. Margot. Hold on. Just jumped up. Hi, Elle. Let's see. Hi, Fawzia. Hi, Liz. Who else is here? Hi, Farm Wife. Hi, Sandy Ellis. Hi, Teresa W. Hello, Nicole. Hi, Judy. Van Drell. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. There's a glare. Hi, Christine. Hi, Ann Cheevers. Hi, Slam Moran. Hi, Christina Ferrari. Hi, Barbara Alston. Okay, so at 3:30, they're due to have. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Deborah. They're supposed to have the formal waiver of the extradition hearing that he's going to do. Bryan in court. Did everybody see him brought into court earlier today? He was brought into court earlier today. It was a brief walk. It looked like he had a bulletproof vest under his jumpsuit there. A couple of things to clear up. That lady that we said absolutely 100% not could she be talking about Bryan, the one that said she was in the jail and he was exposing his genitals and he was singing rap songs and he was doing all of that. She didn't even know what he looked like, okay? She's claiming that somebody told her that was him or she assumed it was him. Whatever it is, it didn't happen. It's not him. He wasn't doing that. I think anybody with a reasonable sense about them would know that, and I'm surprised at some of the people that went forward with that story. I'm not even talking about the Daily Mail. I'm talking about here on YouTube who went forward with that story just to get a headline about it. Pretty sad, especially people that didn't even need to do something so low down like that, but it just shows the character of the creator. It's truly what it is. Sorry. Not sorry. Anybody here, I think, knew that that was not in any way, shape, or form Bryan. And just the way the woman was talking, she should have been vetted before any creator carried that content over. So that is cleared up. There's also on the outside looking in, on the inside looking out. Those Reddit accounts were not Bryan. Okay, it was confirmed. I put a tweet about it. Jennifer Koffendorfer, the former FBI agent, put a tweet about it. Totally take a look at it, okay? It's not his accounts. There's so much misinformation going around, it's infuriating. Okay, people are still reporting this stuff over and over and over again. If you go to like the law and crime chat, it's unbearable because of all the lies going out there. Oh, did he call into this podcast? Did he call into that podcast? No, he didn't. Oh, did he outline every aspect of the murders on this podcast? That would be a no. So it's ridiculous. Hi, Rosalita Marie. So I wanted to clear up those things and hold on. I just want to make sure that's not my doctor call. Did I schedule an appointment? Oh, I think that's probably about my appointments. Yeah, they probably wanted to schedule the appointment with Dr. Rydell. Is that what they want?
You want to schedule an appointment with Dr. Rydell?
Sorry, guys.
Hello? Oh, they don't have a schedule in March yet.
Okay, so what do they want me to do?
So what would you like her to do?
Just call them back. What do I do? Okay, I had to schedule all my physicals and everything today. Let's see. So I was doing that before, and now they had to call me back of something. Of course, they're going to call me back then. But so all of that crap is figured out. But there's still going to be people asking and asking and asking. Some of the people in there think today is a trial. It's crazy. But anyway, no cameras are allowed in the courtroom. So we have to follow it on a live feed from like a Twitter, okay? That's what this is going to be. It's not going to be, there's nobody that's able to film inside the courtroom. I had thought about going down. If it would have been a nicer day, it's an absolute craptastic day here. It's an hour and 58 minutes from me. Had it been, even if it was cold, but it was nice, I would have gone down there. But it was such a craptastic day here. It's so thick and foggy, and it's raining, and it's just miserable.
Honey, so it's March,
So-
no February, right?
What?
No February, right? You only want March, correct?
No, well, that's when it's due, I think. I don't
It's
know.
due in March,
I'm not sure. I could take whatever. I'll take whatever. What do I have in my hair? Piece of graphia or something. That's good. Just crafting. Okay, and but it was
I don't really know.
yeah. I would have gone down because you could have gotten a seat in the courtroom, but it was a crappy day. So.
Okay, so you're overdue for your.
I know. That's why I'm
So what time you
first
going?
available. First available.
Okay, so take the first available.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It never fails. It never fails that they call you back. I was on hold forever with these people, but it doesn't start till 3:30, and what we have to do is follow it through the live feed, and everybody is the same. Nobody is going to be filming. Filming is not allowed in this courtroom at all. So let me just get what happened today. Okay. Okay, and I'll show you. Okay. So this was him arriving in court earlier today. This was pretty early, I think it was 11 something, or it might have been 10 something this morning. And you could see this is the kind of weather it is. It's not quite as foggy right there as it is over here, but it's this rain, and he is walking in. And you can see his height. He's taller than both of the police officers on either side of him. Let me get you another picture. Let's see. And just once more. And let's see. And so let me see if we've got everything there. So it's reported that he flashed an icy, penetrative stare at photographers as he arrived at court on Tuesday, handcuffed and wearing a red prison jumpsuit for his first appearance since he was charged over the brutal murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. He appeared at court in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, a formality before he is flown to Idaho after waiving his right to an extradition hearing. He is being represented by a Monroe County Public Defender Jason Labar, and he's in the Region's Court of Common Pleas. There's something by his parents today that is new, where they are saying they, and a neighbor. So we have a statement by a neighbor, and let me see if I can get that. Hang on 1 second. My computer's running like the hamsters are turning the wheel so slowly. And I've got to be careful not to, whatchamacallit, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I've got to be careful not to do something here. Okay. So now, here we go. Now it's running. Okay, so let me just get that other post here. Okay. Prosecutors cannot release the probable cause affidavit, which includes the details of why authorities arrested Kohberger until he gets to the Idaho court, as state law mandates that. The document is likely to help the public understand how Kohberger was caught in the more than 6-week investigation. Okay, so let me get to the neighbor, okay? And this is a neighbor in Pennsylvania who said she knows the parents, likes the parents. It's a neighbor right, it's right across the street. Said that Bryan did work for her when he was home, and she honestly can't believe that he could be capable of this. There's got to be some mistake, and is what she's hoping. And I'm paraphrasing, but I'm trying to get you the actual statement here. And I'm keeping an eye on our time, don't worry. Okay. Let me just get this here. Okay, his family released a statement as well. And hold on, they said that what they are hearing is not the Bryan that they know and love, and so it's really out of character, said their attorney. And he also said that Bryan was shocked by his arrest, okay? And as well, you heard, is eager to be exonerated. He implicitly denied any involvement, said his public defender, LaBar. Let's see. Meanwhile, early Friday morning, Kohberger was home with his parents when they got a knock at the door and saw their house surrounded by police. According to the public defender LaBar, the family was cooperative but taken aback. What they're hearing is not the Bryan that they know and love, and so it's really out of character. LaBar said Kohberger was shocked by his arrest and is eager to be exonerated. And then there was a neighbor right there, like I said, that said he did work for her. You know, this, she cannot imagine that he could be capable of such a thing, and is hoping that this is a mistake, and that she really likes the parents very much. And so that was a reaction of one of their neighbors. Now, the sister has since removed, Samantha has removed her Facebook page, because I imagine they're probably getting all kinds of comments and things, which isn't right. And let's see. Let's go on to get ready for this live feed here. His sister is an actress. I don't know if you know this. Amanda. She is an actress. As you can see, I'm an actress. I study psychology. This is when she was a student. But my strongest passion lies with the acting and the arts in general. Acting is a huge part of my life, and I have had a dream I have had since I could even remember. I am very simple yet a complex person. Although my mind never slows down, I live to love and help others. I've done a number of plays such as The Hot L, Baltimore, The Vagina Monologues, and Barefoot in the Park, and I have been in a number of independent and student films such as 2 Days Back, Lonesome, and Going In. I have also worked on a web series which did not air called Aerobics Gone Bad as Paige. And current projects at that time included DGDSN, directed by Symmetry Productions, as the supporting role of Susie. And she has a bunch of photos from that on that exploretalent.com site. Let me get to Twitter here so we can go to because we are going to have to follow it through tweets from the reporters that are in the courtroom. So Bryan said he was going into the courtroom 27 minutes ago. Bryan Enton, of course. Cameras and live tweeting is not allowed. Okay, so they can't even tweet live now. They're not even allowed to live tweet. Wow. So we'll have to wait till it ends, but I don't expect it to be long at all. So we're going to have to again, the story regarding Bryan Kohberger's actions behind bars is totally not true, and it was a different inmate, not Kohberger. Okay, so let me go to. So we're not going to get anything until it's over with the live tweeting. Wow, they don't even let them know. Usually they're allowed to live tweet, but they don't even want that. I guess they don't want them on their phones. Maybe they think they could record it or something, and they don't want any chance of that. So we'll look at some other things. Let's take a look at what is going on with this case. Anything? What's going on here? Okay, so a lot of people are saying they're surprised at how big he is and that he looks so big, especially walking in next to those officers. So that's a common thing that people are saying. Let's see. Okay. So someone's saying from the Monroe County Courthouse, the search warrants will be sealed for 60 days. Well, of course we're not going to learn anything today because they have to get him back to Idaho to get the affidavit unsealed. It has nothing to do with the Monroe court. People are going... crazy trying to connect him to like a dozen other things. It's crazy. It's like they want, and now the bunch of them are saying that they got the wrong guy because it's like they enjoyed the thrill of the hunt, these people. And now, it's being taken away from them. So now they want to say like, oh, we got the wrong guy. So they're going to go on and try to put another connection to someone else there. Okay. Let's see. And they're worried about, his vegan diet and whether he's going to get a vegan diet in jail. Well, they do, provide for many different dietary concerns there. If you've ever seen anything about what goes on. Let's see here. All right. So we're just going to have to hold tight. If anybody wants to call in the meantime, you can call in with any questions. If you're not in Slack, to get the number, you can email me and I will send you the number. I'm just going to keep this open here. Let me just check. Yeah. Brian Enton hasn't tweeted anymore, and I have my other guy that's over there. See what he's doing. Okay. Okay, so here's something an hour ago from a reporter said the family don't believe it to be Brian. They can't believe this. They're obviously shocked. This is certainly completely out of character, the allegations, and really they're just trying to be supportive. Again, issued through Labar. This guy. I don't think, no, this isn't the guy that's over there. Hold on a minute. There's another guy this isn't the one. This isn't the one. Hang on. But it's all going to be the same. They're not going to be able to live tweet. I can't believe they're not able to live tweet. That is just crazy. Crazy. Okay, so he's here, right? So let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what he has to say. Let me go get him on Twitter, okay? Okay. And this one is on site too. So he says, family just arrived at the courthouse ahead of today's extradition hearing. Let's see here. They're covering their faces. Let me see if I can bring this over for a second. Hold on, where the heck is... Hold on. Let me get... Trying to get a good shot of this. It's probably... Okay. So, it looks like mother and daughter, I would say, are coming in here. I'll show you. Would be... Here, okay. Let me just get this. I'll put it in here. Okay, where's my thingy? Okay. Later. Hang on, let me just get this. Okay. And okay, so this, let's see. This is the, I imagine, the mother, and this should be Amanda. I don't think Melissa's there. This guy is ahead of them. I'm not sure if this is their attorney because he's got a bag, or if that's the dad. Let me see here. Let me go back to see who's walking in here. Let's see. Okay. Brian's family just arrived, so let's see if he explains who this is. They're saying that's the dad. That this guy is the dad. That's that's what somebody's saying there. Let's see. Surprised he didn't wait to help them across, but yeah. It's looking like that's the dad and the sister, and I guess the other sister didn't come. I think I had this long gun there, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they just follow them up to the courthouse there. So, let's see what else he has to say, this guy, this one here. This is the scene outside the courthouse. They've got the media camped out just under those big awning things with the four legs all along the street there. Nothing really to see. It's just media camped out. This was a photo. See, the fog is pretty thick there too. That's how it was here. Like I said, if it was a better day, I would have gone down. I really would have. It's just a horrendously horrible day. So that was this morning. Bryan Kohberger is in a jail cell. This afternoon he's expected, but that was 5 hours ago. Yeah, he was probably already on his way. 2 hours later from that, he was on his way there. Let's see here. What else is going on? See if they're saying anything else. So the last thing from him is that the family 35 minutes ago arrived. They should have be started with the hearing. It's probably going to be very quick, and we'll be getting tweets of what happened in the courtroom. Let's see if we have anything else going on here. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry that I can't see the chat right now, but I'm trying to go through stuff here. But if you want to call in, please feel free to call in. Elle, I see you're here. Are you looking for a number? Elle, let me know. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This is what the area is looking like outside. That says as the family is arriving out there. It's expected the hearing at the Monroe County Courthouse in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania is expected to be brief, as Kohberger will likely not fight the extradition. Kohberger's public defender said his client is expected to waive his extradition hearing in order to be transferred back to Idaho as soon as possible. While Kohberger and his family maintains his innocence, the Moscow, Idaho Police Department believes it has found the killer. We believe we've got our man, said Captain Anthony Dollinger to the Associated Press. There are no cameras or live tweeting allowed in the courtroom during the hearing. None. Okay, let's see here. The hearing is slated to begin at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Cameras will not be allowed inside the courtroom to cover the hearing, which is expected to be brief. Labar has said Kohberger will likely sign the extradition paperwork, which will allow authorities to move Kohberger quickly to Idaho and serve him an arrest warrant in Loudoun County. Okay, let's see.
Carolyn Rosalita has in the chat that there's a public camera in the hallway and they motioned it was ready to start. Also showed Bryan going in the courtroom.
Okay. But it won't be in the courtroom, and it's going to be in the hallway, but. Okay. So let me see if, what time is it? It's 6 minutes. It probably won't be longer than 15 minutes. Brian Enton still has not updated with any tweets. He can't in the courtroom, nor has the other guy after the parents arrived. Hi, Al.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, good.
Hi, Elle.
Hi.
So, did you hear about it? What did you hear? Anything, Al?
No, I've been out of the loop.
Oh, okay.
I'm with David.
Oh, is he still there? Okay.
Hi, David. From everybody.
Um, I don't expect today is going to be very eventful. A lot of people think there's like we're getting a whole bunch. We're not going to be getting a whole bunch of information today at all. This is just he's got to get back to Idaho. Let me look at the chat. Okay, let's see. What have we got? Kimberly Jerome, I think he's going to take every liberty. He's enjoying this. What? Okay. Oh, thank you, Debbie Zito, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Chatty Corin, welcome. Hi, Ruby Putnam. Hi, Faithful Kitty. How are you? Hi, Jeff. You wonder if he's being heavy. You wonder if his being heavy to the being thin made his mindset similar to Elliot Rodger, expecting women to be attracted to him, confused when they weren't. Okay, Jeff. You're saying that when he lost that weight, he expected to be like an Adonis to women, and when he wasn't, it made him even more confused, angry, frustrated, stuff like that. It's a nice little town. There's like breakfast area there. I actually could have gone if it was a nicer day. I definitely would have, because I had something else I could have done up there that it's just so ugh. Hi, Snow Remover. You were under the impression they would state some of the evidence. So no, they're not going to tell us anything like that, Rosalita. Not until he gets back to Idaho. I'm sure they. Do we know that as an absolute fact, Jeff, though? I mean, I know we've heard that through people, but do we know he was doing heroin as a fact? I'm so happy they caught someone. I was worried they wouldn't. Great pictures of this town. Yeah, this is where they are. It's all rainy and gross. And there was his family going inside. It doesn't look like his other sisters there, but it looks like one sister, the mother and the father, going in. It has to be extremely upsetting for the family. Hi, Judy. Let me see if I can find anything. Yeah, see if you can find something from a reputable source, Jeff. That'd be great. If you want to call in, let me know. I'll give you the number. Actually, today, let me see. Where's his pictures? Hold on. Pictures. This is, He definitely appears to be wearing a bulletproof vest. You can see it over here. And here's where you can see his footwear. It's not a jumpsuit, it's two pieces. So much misinformation. I mean, even in the comments on these articles. Let's see. Someone's like, if it's true his father helped him wash the car, I wonder if the prosecutors will force the perp to plead guilty, or else they will charge his father with accessory after the fact. It sounds like the father they're already, convicted the father. It's just his father knew exactly what he was doing by fine. I know. Okay. I don't know what's going on at all. Okay, let's see. All right, let me go back to Twitter and just see if anybody's out of the courtroom yet. Okay, so here's another walking from the holding area to the courtroom. So somebody got a picture of that. Hold on a second, it's a terrible picture, but let's see if there is something. Let's see. It's like coming out of an elevator in the courtroom. Hang on. Okay. So this is the picture they get of him walking towards the courtroom. This guy changes his look all the time. Like, this isn't even. He's got his eyes closed, but let's see what else we have here. Okay, so it's done now. It looks like it's done. Bryan has said Bryan Kohberger waived his extradition hearing. He had to sign a waiver in court. The judge explained to him the charges against him in Idaho and that he was voluntarily allowing authorities to transfer him to Idaho. Hold on, there's more coming, okay? He just got, that was the first of 3. And he's still typing them up. Let's see if our other guy. Where's our other guy? Okay, Brian. He still doesn't have the other 2 tweets up yet. That was quick. Everybody said, yeah, it was quick, right? I said it wasn't going to last 15 minutes. It's just about it. Okay, so let's see. Bryan waived his extradition hearing. He had to sign a waiver in the court. The judge explained to him the charges against him in Idaho and that he was voluntarily allowing authorities to transfer him to Idaho.
I'm going to shut it off.
What?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Okay, so where's my other? Let's see what this guy's got if he started his first one. This guy hasn't even put out his first one yet after. So let's go back to Bryan Enton and see if he's done number 2 yet. His second tweet. That didn't sound good. Okay, well, he hasn't put out another tweet yet. Let's see. People are asking when will he depart to Idaho. They're not going to tell you for his own security. They've already said that. They're not going to say it, but imagine it's going to happen right away. That's you. And he's being led back out to the van. So he's done. He's going back. And it's finished 14 seconds ago. He was led back in. So let's see what's going on. Yep, in and out, done. And let's see if our other guy has said anything yet. He still hasn't, and the other guy, Sheehan, hasn't said anything yet, hasn't tweeted anything. Bryan Enton has not put out his second tweet, the second of 3. Yes.
Farm Wife has in the chat that there's a press conference at 4:30 your time.
Okay. Thank you, Farm Wife.
I
Do you
think
know, is it with Idaho?
Pennsylvania, I think.
Pennsylvania? Okay, let me see.
By PA law officials, she says.
Well, let me go to I have the district attorney's site open here. Let me see. 4:30, so it's going to be don't know what they're going to tell us, but let's see. Surprised that okay, other guy finally tweeted. He said that Bryan Kohberger just left the courthouse after waiving his extradition hearing. The murder suspect will soon travel to Idaho. And let me see something here, if I can grab you a picture of him leaving. We'll get a picture of him leaving. Right, so let me just, I've got a picture for you leaving. Let me just pop that into here. And that's him leaving. These cops have gloves on this time. They didn't have them going in. He had two officers, I think, behind us on the side of him going in. Now he's leaving. He's looking. Let's see if I can get the crowd is calling out someone who was going in. They were saying, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Or something, you know. I've got another one for you on the way out here. Okay, let's put this one up. And then I'll go back and check their tweets. But they're not going to say anything more than what was said, even if he writes 5 other things. Where the heck did I put my... Yeah, here we go. Okay. And we will go to... Okay. They're ready, right? They're ready for anything to happen. All right, let's see. Now, let's see what they're up to in here, over here. All right, let's see what. See what Bryan Enton is doing now. Let's see if he's added anything. Okay, yes, he's asked. So I'm going to just start from the beginning. Bryan Kohberger waived his extradition hearing. He had to sign a waiver in court. The judge explained to Kohberger the charges against him in Idaho and that he was voluntarily allowing authorities to transfer him to Idaho. Kohberger told the judge He is not on any medication that would impact him making the decision. The judge said he has to be sent to Idaho within 10 days. Kohberger came into court and made eye contact with his family sitting in the front row. He nodded at them. His mom cried, and his sister comforted the mom. A deputy brought her tissues. Okay, let's see. And everybody's thinking that Kaylee's dad meant that he's going to Pennsylvania to look him in the eyes. No, 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 no. He said Idaho courts. So yeah, people are asking here, well, what did he look Steve Gonsalves in the eye? No, he didn't, because Steve Gonsalves wasn't there. Okay. Okay. So that looks to be that. Now you say there's a press conference coming, so let me look up that. Okay. Okay. This is January 3rd. The county district attorney will be holding a press conference to discuss the apprehension of Bryan C. Kohberger. Okay, so it said that Colonel Robert Evanchek, Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police, Major Christopher Paris, Area 3 Commander of State Police, and the Monroe County District Attorney, E. David Christine Jr., will speak on Kohberger's arrest at a home in Chestnut Hill Township last Friday. Kohberger was taken into custody by members of Troop N and the Special Emergency Response in connection to the homicides of 4 University of Idaho students on November 13th. The conference will start at 4:30 p.m., roughly a half an hour from now, so we might as well just stay on until that's done and see if there's any other updates, or if you guys have questions or comments. Let me go to the chat and see what's going on here. Okay, so Jeff says, let me see. Did you say, let me see if I can... Okay, let me see here. Jeannie's talking about life, says her detective friend told her he will be back before 3 days. I agree. I think he will be back very soon. Hey, Daisy Duke. Hi, Kit Kat. All 3 tweets. Yeah, I just read those. Hi, MD. Hi, Slam RN. Hi, Chrissy W. Robody Bob. Hi. People have said that was the date, 1-3. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. That is so funny, Daisy. Gotta love it. Hey, Sleuthy TV. I don't really laugh or make fun of other people's speculations. No, I wasn't making fun, Sleuthy. I think it was very irresponsible to do that. I think you lose credibility. I wasn't making fun. I was saying it's a discredit to anybody that wants to be taken seriously. It's what gives other people these bad names. That's what I'm saying. Especially when if it comes from someone that is purporting to be, a huge presence out there, and then when you don't vet that and you put something so idiotic up there, that's what I said. It's not making fun of. It's being very critical of something that shouldn't be done. Okay? If people want to consider themselves on YouTube, and they do, they consider themselves part of the media, reporters, journalists, and they're doing stuff where they don't even vet their sources and they're tabloid, yeah. So, Hillbilly Pie, wow. He's wearing ballistic plates. Yeah, he's definitely got something on under there. We haven't seen you in a while, Hillbilly. Good to see you. Hi, Lisa L. He still has, his... I guess they think that somebody might shoot him. Okay, so let me see. Does anybody do you want to call in, Hillbilly? Does anyone want to call in, Jeff, or anything? Because we have some time before the next press conference at 4:30. Thank you, Jody Van Driel.
Thank you, Jody Bandria.
Hi, Kalani. Okay, let's see. Let me get this down now. This down. This down. This down. That down. And I'll put the, So, hi, Al.
Hi.
Hi. So,
How are
David,
ya?
is David still there?
Yeah.
Oh. Why do you sound so, oh? Everything okay? Okay. All right. Jeff, did Jeff say that he I don't know if he said, I hope. Did you find a source for that, Jeff, for the other thing you said? A real source? Because I myself have seen a friend of one of those figure friends. Hey, just in case, sorry. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Hillbilly gave us some information. He said, did I see that the Moscow police page, I guess, have updated their section with frequently answered questions, additional investigation information. And in that section, they say detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road to locate possible evidence.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know if I saw that or not. I don't know. I have not seen that before. Hillbilly saying, I would not be surprised if they found some item out of place in one of those dumpsters and DNA from that item flagged with an unknown sample from a household item or victim. Just finding DNA in that house is meaningless. Connecting 2 dots is how they make those connections. I would not be surprised if we find out he's been on their radar for weeks. Also, I'm sticking with my original thought. The only identifiable room in the entire house was Maddie's room. It had her boots and the letter M in the window, an easy target and a really good lesson for young women. Don't get personalized car plates. Put things in windows or in your car that identify you. There are hundreds of thousands of psychopaths at large at any given moment. So I still think Maddie was the solitary target. The others just got in the way of this plan. Okay, interesting. And I'll give you the number if you want to call in, Hillbilly Pie. It's good to see you back. And I'll send it
Yeah.
to.
Nice for you to call in, Hillbilly. Nice to see you today. Been a while. Rosalita asks, wonder if they will fly or drive him back. Any thoughts?
They said fly when I just
Fly.
look. Yeah,
I would
Okay.
think.
I mean they took. Oh, thanks, Hillbilly. Okay, thank you. For the
Hey,
link.
Jelly.
Yeah.
Shelly, Jeannie. I said Jelly. Both at once. Shelly and Jeannie. How are you, ladies? Hey, Judy, with a Y. Keolani says, when these events make guys like Bryan Kohberger well known, others who have these tendencies are inspired to imitate them. It happens. Sure does. It happens. It has happened in the past.
Okay, let me just put this down here for this. Okay. Send that in Jeff. Let me see. Jeff, I don't know if Jeff said. Jeff is trying to find a source or something. That and so, Elle, what do you think about what's going on? Anything?
I'm just, thinking, hoping that that it all sticks.
Mm-hmm.
You think this was his first time, Carolyn?
Do I think it's his first time? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, BTK had a first time of 4 people in the house. I mean, that's known. Could be. It could be like. I just want to hear. I just wonder what the connection was. Once I hear what the connection was, and I mean, is it very possible that he thought it was just going to be one person? I don't know. It's so confusing.
Yeah, what the motive and stuff, right?
Yeah, and if he thought like there's going to be one person, and then he was, was found 2 people in the bed, and then all of that woke 2 people up downstairs, on the second floor. I don't know. It's just, yeah,
Like if he went in to kill 4 or went in to kill 1.
right. Because he
But
could have
somebody-
wanted to kill 1 and came out killing 4 because of what happened. Yeah.
They had to start somewhere because don't forget,
Right.
his professor wrote a biography about BTK and studied BTK extensively. So we don't know. Maybe Bryan, if this was, something similar to that, but more will come out.
Right. I'm wondering, like, if he knew any of them before, or he had to have targeted one of them.
I think there has to be some connection. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
It's too.
Does anybody know for BTK's killing, when he killed the 4 people for his first killing? Now I forgot my question. I was told, what were we? I see my mind just went. You sound like that. Sharon understands. Hi, Sharon. Now I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come to me.
Let's see.
He just looks really scary to me.
Yeah, he does. That stare. It's
Right.
this really piercing and just. It looks soulless to me. That's
For some reason.
my opinion. Cool.
Very big.
He looked.
did
Yeah,
you-
he looked.
okay.
You could really see how big he was. Everybody was saying how surprised they were.
I remember.
that,
Did BTK know those people he killed at the 4 people he killed at the sorority house? Did he know them, BTK?
Who
I
you?
don't remember.
Are you asking me something?
Yeah.
You're asking me if BTK knew who the. Okay, I'll tell you.
Did BTK know the when he killed 4 people? That was his first kill. Did he know them?
Okay, on January 15th, 1974, Dennis Rader committed his first murder, strangling 4 family members, including 2 children, in their Wichita home. The mother had worked for Coleman. Semen was found at the scene, though none of the victims had been SA'd.
Mm-hmm.
So they had
Similar.
worked for Coleman. No, they had worked for Coleman. Let me see.
So none of them were essayed in this case as well.
He had a he had a brief stint as a factory worker for the Coleman Company, a maker of camping equipment. So these people, the mother had worked for Coleman, so there is a connection there.
So he may have known the mother.
Right. Yeah.
So
And
even
then
with
in April of 1974, a few months after, he targeted another woman that worked at Coleman, but it was a 21-year-old. And after breaking into her house, he encountered her brother, who managed to escape despite being shot. He fatally stabbed the woman before fleeing.
but there was an association then.
Coleman, yeah, the Coleman factory on those 2, yeah, those 2.
He did not essay any. Did he essay any of his victims? BTK.
Let's see. On the first ones, there was semen found at the scene, but they were not SA'd. And the second one, it's not looking at that. And over the next 20 years, he killed 5 more women. His 6th victim was strangled in March of 1977 after he locked her 3 young children in the bathroom. Following the death of his next victim in December of 1977, he grew irritated by the lack of media coverage. In a letter to a local TV station, he wrote, "How many people do I have to kill before I get a name in the paper or some national attention?" The resulting coverage helped set off a panic. Rader then waited 8 years before murdering a neighbor in her home in 1985. He later took her body to his church, where he photographed her in bondage. 28-year-old mother of 2 was killed in 1986, and in 1991 he committed his last murder, strangling a 62-year-old woman in her secluded home. The case subsequently went cold, and in 2004, the 30th anniversary of his first murders, a local paper ran a feature in which it speculated that the killer had either died or been imprisoned. Rader responded by sending various evidence from his 9th murder, notably a copy of the victim's driver's license, as well as photographs of her body, to a reporter. For the next year, he sent packages to the media or simply left items around Wichita. He often used cereal boxes, possibly a reference to serial killer, to hold drawings, crime souvenirs, including photographs, written descriptions of the murders, and even dolls posed to mimic the various deaths. In January of 2005, police received a break after recovering a cereal box that included a note in which Rader asked police whether they would be able to trace a floppy disk he wanted to send them. Through a classified ad, law enforcement officials indicated that it would be safe. He then sent them a disc, which the police quickly traced to his church, where he served as the president of the congregation. Rader's DNA was then matched to the semen found at the first crime scene. He was arrested in February of 2005, and he soon confessed to the crimes and expressed shock that the police had lied to him. In June, he pled guilty, and 2 months later, he was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms. Yeah. Keep an eye on our time. It's 4:15. We have 15 minutes into the press conference.
I wonder if Kohberger either did this before, or if he didn't get caught, would he have continued on like BTK? That's quite possible.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I
wonder
needed.
I wonder who was the victim, if anyone was the victim.
You mean
They were
Target?
saying,
Yeah,
they
the
were
target.
Target. They were saying something about Zaina and Maddie, right?
Well, they're saying that because of the the Mad Greek restaurant.
They worked there. Yeah.
And that, I mean, that seems very plausible that he would go to the restaurant and then, because I've said that from the beginning, and I would just wondered why, like, nobody ever speculated on that either
Right.
one of those girls was the target because of the restaurant. But there was very few people said anything about that. I don't remember any. We said it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember people saying it. It was mostly people were stuck on the fact that Kaylee was the target because of what her father said.
Right.
And then nobody moved off that.
Yeah, her father was one of the ones that spoke out the most. That's why. And then the internet ran with it.
But it very
Yeah.
well could be Madison, like Hillbilly said, from the restaurant.
Right.
And Zaina. And maybe
Yeah.
that's how, maybe he didn't know Ethan was there. Let's just say it was Madison and he went there and then he had to kill Kaylee because she was in the bed. Then he went down to get Zaina and then found out she was with Ethan.
Right.
Mhm.
Let's see what. And we haven't seen anybody coming forward saying that they remember him from the Mad Greek. And please don't go call the Mad Greek the way people are calling the Corner Club.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course, none of this is confirmed. We don't know anything until we receive information from the Idaho police. So we're not going to know.
Do you think any of these cells knew? Well, Judy, that's what we're saying. It could be very well from the restaurant. Judy says, question, who was the one who was found? Well, we don't even know if they were found outside the room. That was something that police never released. That was coming from just people. So we don't know that yet until we get that affidavit. Maybe we'll see some of them there.
And the coroner said one was found outside the chamber room.
Well, did she say that? Because then the coroner said
Yeah, I have it.
it's only
I have
rumored.
it.
Yeah, no, it was only
A
rumored.
screenshot. I have a screenshot of it. And that all four were found on the floor
You have that from the coroner?
from the coroner.
Where's the screenshot from?
From an article. If I go look at it now, I'll lose the room.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't,
There's only one scenario that's right. You guys come up with all these scenarios, and how'd he do it, and why'd he do it? But there's only one that's right. And my vote is he's wants to be a serial. He wanted to kill and get away with murder, see what it felt like himself, and all that. And that's it, you know. I mean, did he know that he's going to kill all four of them? I really don't know. Did he, did he know what he was going to run into when he went there? But I think he just wanted to kill some people,
okay.
and he's gonna claim innocence down to the end. He's like, you know, he probably
Your
knows
thing is annoying this.
what in there.
That
He
thing,
knows?
that noise.
You don't
yes,
like that noise?
Not at all.
Okay. I do because it means my stuff's heated up.
Okay. What time is it now? 4:20?
So, I think he's
Okay.
gonna play like, how could you guys ever think I would do that? And I didn't do it, and that's it. You know, I mean, had the DNA, whatever point to me. I mean, it's not 100%. Yeah, maybe it's 99.99. He might say, but there's always that chance. And
It's not a vegan restaurant, but they had vegan entrees on the menus.
I'm talking.
As long as
very
with
important
other-
stuff. This is the case. I got the idea. Oh, hi, Jimmy. Let me see. Hi, Bobbity Bob.
You heard it.
I like the way that rolls off. You know, the Bobbity Bob.
Roberty Bob.
Off your lips.
One.
So, anyway, hello everybody. I gotta go.
Hi,
I'm
Jimmy.
honey,
Karen
you
doesn't
gotta leave at 6 o'clock. On and off.
Hi, Jimmy.
Okay, huh? If you
Okay.
go, are you going?
Okay, Jimmy.
Are you going?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess. I don't know why, but
He
they
would-
have
he
vegan
would
menu
kill-
items. Yeah.
I think he would have killed again if he wasn't caught. Absolutely.
Okay, it said, but the victim's body was not found inside the housing room. And then I looked up housing room,
Yeah, but
and the housing room is in a dormitory. The building is the primary providing sleep area and the residential quarters for a large number of people. So the housing room is the sleeping room. And it said the victim's body was not found inside the housing room. The victims.
But
So it's
what,
one
what,
victim.
what article is that? Like,
It
where's
doesn't say. I don't have the article. I just have the blurb. But it's from the coroner. The
That-
police
I think-
believe that the two girls were not involved.
I don't think that was official.
I don't think it
Oh,
was either.
okay.
It was. I remember seeing the article. I do remember seeing the coroner, Maboot. I don't know how to say her name. Was the coroner that, and yeah, it was said. It was. I remember the article, but we don't.
It says
it's not
victim.
there.
It says victim singular was not found inside the housing room, and the housing room is the sleeping room.
Yeah, so
But one victim.
at least one victim, at least one.
Right.
So as victim, it's got to be
All right,
one.
well, but we don't, I don't, let me see.
You have to know the source, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were, I mean, a lot of us were thinking that Ethan was outside of the door and Zaina was in the room. And when there was an altercation, Zaina woke up and then there was a fight ensued. And that's where she, self-defense marks on her came from. And I think there was a little bit of a struggle because I don't believe Kohberger knew that Ethan was going to be there.
Right. That was
I
the
think-
impression I got from the beginning, that he was found outside the room. I don't know why.
I think maybe.
okay, so wait, I'm reading from the New York Times this was right early on, because it says, 4 University of Idaho students killed in crime of passion. That's the New York Times headline, okay? And this was from November 14th. It says updated December 30th. And it says Kathy Mabut, the Latta County coroner, said that all 4 deaths were being considered homicides and that it was not a case of murder-suicide. She said that her office planned to conduct autopsies on Wednesday. She said she could not share any information about how the victims had been killed without authorization to do so from the police. The University of Idaho confirmed that all the victims were students and canceled classes on Monday. Let's see. Let's see anything about that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing in that article that says anything that she said anything there. Here's another article from CNN. And this one said the victims were found on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the home. And that's from Aaron Snell, director of the State Police Communications. The coroner said that she saw lots of blood on the wall when she arrived on the scene. She confirmed that there were multiple stab wounds on each body, likely from the same weapon, but would not disclose how many wounds nor where they were located. Stab wounds on the hands of at least one victim appear to be defensive wounds, according to the coroner. She said there was no sign of SA on the bodies during the autopsies. In their Friday evening update, police said some of the victims had defensive wounds. And let's see what I have from her there. So I don't know what, Nothing there, nothing more there from there. Timeline, I'm trying to see if there's anything. Please, I'm going to keep an eye on our time, just so that we don't miss the press conference.
Yep, 4 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see that. Mm-mm. Not there. Let's see if there's anything else. Here's another LA Times. And the coroner comments expanded on the autopsy reports where she concluded the 4 students were murdered by being stabbed to death. Let's see. Nothing there. Okay, November 17th, the coroner confirms the cause of death. So all 4 victims were stabbed to death. Would have had to have been not a pocket knife, it had to be a bigger knife. Let's see if she says anything here. Yeah, I'm not seeing that, as I'm saying, so there's another, let's see. Yeah, I don't know where that was taken from. A pretty large knife.
Something. Hold on a minute. I was talking on mute again. Okay, so this is from CBS News. And it is dated November 19th, 2022 at 10:58 p.m. Apparently, a butt made a statement that said that they were found in their beds, stabbed in their beds on one statement. And then she says one of the 4 students, of the 4 University of Idaho students who were found stabbed to death in a rental house last Sunday, some were killed in their beds. The Letta County coroner told CBS News Friday. So she says some were killed. And to elaborate.
And I read all 4 were found on the floor by the coroner.
So crazy.
Yeah.
1 minute to conference.
Yeah, I have it up there, so when it
Okay.
comes on, I'll put it on. Let's see. I don't know. So I don't see that. Okay. Well, let's put this on. Let me put this on in full screen here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Adam Reed. I'm the Director of the Communications Office with the Pennsylvania State Police. Thank you for joining us here. The order of speakers is going to be our Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner, Colonel Robert Ivanchik, Major Christopher Paris, he's our Area 3 Commander, and First Assistant District Attorney, Monroe County, Mike Mancuso. After the speakers have finished, we will then take a handful of questions. Colonel Ivanchik.
Good afternoon. I'm Colonel Robert Ivanchik, Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. While I monitored the investigation into the horrific murders of the University of Idaho students, I did not imagine the investigation would lead to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. My heart goes out to the families of the victims, their friends, the community of Moscow, and the University of Idaho. No words can heal the pain associated with the loss of a child. Their young lives were ended far too soon. In law enforcement, we understand the best thing we can do for victims and their families is to follow every lead, collect every piece of evidence, and bring those responsible to justice. I am proud of the members of the Pennsylvania State Police who were able to help in this investigation. The cooperative relationship between our local, state, and federal partners stands the test of time. The officers, troopers, and federal agents work together tirelessly, putting in long, difficult hours. Communication and cooperation are imperative to success and to ensure the integrity of the case remains maintained. The culmination of that cooperation ultimately led to take the suspect into custody and afforded the families some sense of peace they deserve. I want to thank the Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, and our partners in the Federal Bureau of Investigation for their support, assistance, and coordination. I also want to recognize the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. And finally, I need to acknowledge the members of the Pennsylvania State Police, specifically members of Troop N, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and our Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, who assisted in safely taking the suspect into custody in the early morning hours of December 30th. As previously indicated by Chief James Fry of the Moscow Police Department, specific details regarding this investigation cannot be released until the suspect is extradited to Idaho and presented with the probable cause affidavit. At this time, I will turn the microphone over to Major Christopher Paris, Commander of Area 3, who was involved in the coordinated efforts to take the suspect into custody.
Thank you, Colonel. Area 3 comprises troops F, P, N, and R, and is made up of 1,000 approximately of the women and men, civilian and enlisted, in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. I'd like to introduce to my left Captain Norm Kramer, who's the commander of Troop N Hazleton, which is comprised of Carbon, Monroe, Columbia, and parts of Luzerne counties. I would like to reiterate, as the colonel said, that Idaho law prohibits any release of information contained within the affidavits. So we're going to do our best today to talk about what phase we are currently in the investigation, and it has entered a new phase with the waiver for extradition. And the continuing primary goal is the seeking of justice through successful prosecution and conviction, bearing the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So with that in mind, we're trying to balance essentially two things: the public's desire for information against the need to maintain the integrity of the investigation and protect the suspects, accused at this point's due process. So I'll now attempt to give you an operational picture with the best information I can release at the time. So this begins when the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation troopers were contacted by the FBI about assisting with surveillance of the accused in this case. I'd like to take the opportunity to specifically thank several individuals. Special Agent in Charge Jackie McGuire and Assistant Special Agent in Charge Dave Carter from the Philadelphia Field Division, as well as Supervisory Special Agent Bill Vigorito of the Scranton RA. We're very lucky in PSP to have a collaborative relationship with the Bureau, both in Pennsylvania and beyond, and their people are absolutely excellent. So as the investigation progressed, Troop N Criminal Investigation Section, commanded by Captain Kramer over my left shoulder here, began to collaborate with authorities in Idaho. Specifically, I'd like to acknowledge Lieutenant James Curto, who is here today, Sergeant Anthony Ferdinand, Corporal John Chulak, who is not present with us, and Troopers Leary and Knoll, who are here with us today. It was through this collaboration and the charges pending in Idaho that those troopers were able to obtain search warrants and a fugitive from justice warrant that was prepared here in Monroe County for the location in Chestnut Hill Township and the fugitive from justice warrant for Mr. Kohberger, respectively. I'd like to acknowledge the Monroe County District Attorney, David Christine, as well as First Assistant Mike Mancuso, and their entire office. The support that we received was absolutely excellent. Once those warrants were obtained, the Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, BESO, coordinates our Special Emergency Response Team, CERT. They were selected to serve those warrants, the 3 search warrants and the fugitive from justice warrant. To define what CERT is, it's a full-time tactical team maintained by PSP to deal with high-risk warrant situations, barricades, and other incidents requiring specialized tactical training or other capabilities. From their perspective, we essentially task them to go out and serve a arrest warrant for someone accused of a quadruple murder. They're activated several hundred times a year throughout the Commonwealth. We don't typically hear of their work in a forum like this because they serve the warrant, the person's taken into custody, and they go about their assignment. They are the ultimate professionals. It's a volunteer team. They're highly trained and highly motivated. Captain Norm Kramer, over my left shoulder, was assigned as the top comm for the CERT activation, which means he was responsible for coordinating our tactical preparations. So, tactical assets were then staged in the county, in Monroe County, into the evening of Thursday, December 29th, last Thursday. And in the early hours of Friday, December 30th, those warrants were executed at the location. Mr. Kohberger was taken into custody without incident. The scene was turned over to the FBI Evidence Response Team for processing. Mr. Kohberger was then turned over to the Monroe County Prison, where he has remained in their custody since. I'd like to thank the Monroe County Sheriff and the Stroud Regional Police Department for their support as well during the extradition process. Arrangements currently are being made to deliver Kohberger back to Idaho, where he can have continued due process and face these charges. So it's with that I will turn it over to First Assistant Mike Mancuso.
Thank you, Major. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Mancuso with the DA's office, the First Assistant District Attorney. I want to give my condolences to the families of the victims out in Idaho for their loss. It's my sincere hope that this marks a clear step in the right direction of effectuating justice for those folks. My office's role was relatively recent. We weren't advised of the presence of the defendant in our county until only a couple days before the apprehension of the defendant. But when we were told, we came together and worked very closely with Captain Kramer, who did an excellent job in almost like a clockwork operation. Part of my duties were to ensure that 3 separate search warrants were issued. Those affidavits attached to those search warrants are still under seal, so I can't discuss their contents with you. But one was for the person of Mr. Kohberger, collecting DNA and photographs, that sort of thing. One was for the white Elantra vehicle, which I understand has been seized and is being processed. And one was for the address, the residence itself that he was living in with his family. I was at the scene, and I have to say that Major Paris and Captain Norm Kramer did an outstanding job in coordinating the efforts, not only of the numerous Pennsylvania State police troopers there, but officers from other jurisdictions and disciplines within those jurisdictions to make this a very smooth, highly competent professional operation. It is a quirk, apparently. It's not in the norm of the states I'm familiar with that Idaho does not release their probable cause affidavit in support of their arrest warrant until after their defendant is brought or returned to that state. But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause, I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho was the need to know what was in those documents. So that's a significant development. Beyond that, looking at the scope of the situation and the ties this defendant has to my county, I would hold our office at the disposal of the Idaho authorities to help facilitate a complete background investigation into the defendant, both activities prior to the murders occurring within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and his activities after the murders in Pennsylvania. So we stand ready to assist with that effort on an ongoing basis. Thank you.
We can now open it up for questions.
Can you tell us what state police specifically did, or can you give us any indication as to the operations of state police, when you were notified? And you talk about putting tactical in the area. How long were they there? And what's the...
We're not in a position to give you an exact time. It was at some point prior to when the surveillance was taken, as the investigation progressed to a point where search warrants could be obtained and the probable cause for those search warrants and an arrest warrant, a fugitive from justice warrant based on the arrest warrant out in Idaho were obtained. We began to
Jeff
to
is
take the
saying
tactical
somebody
steps
needs to
plan
mute their
serve them.
mic.
Were you collecting evidence prior to...
Carolyn?
At this point,
No,
like we said,
it's hard to hear. We all need to mute so
very
we can
much
hear. It's playing on
pertinent to
YouTube
what's
right
in-
now.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Okay, yeah, everybody, yeah, you can't hear because everybody in Zoom has to listen on YouTube. So just please mute your mics for right now, and you have to listen on YouTube, okay? That wasn't any of our mics that made that noise, that was their mic. Anyway, but that's what Jeff is saying, it was their mic. Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic, you have to listen on YouTube and mute your mic.
in the affidavits, which we cannot speak about.
What's it about his demeanor when the arrest actually happened?
Present sense impression, as likewise ongoing investigation, can't discuss.
How, Rob Van, 69 News, how is Kohberger being transported back to Idaho?
Those arrangements are being discussed right now, as well as the logistics. The court order says, those of you who heard it today, it's within the next 10 days, so we're currently working on that in coordination with authorities out in Idaho. Sir? I can't comment, I don't know.
Is he being held in the Monroe County Jail until he's extradited, or is he removed to another?
No, he is lodged in the, since he was dropped off there Friday morning, he's resided in Monroe County Prison.
Still, and until he's
Correct, yes.
extradited, he'll be there?
Are the marshals moving him, or which group is
At this
moving
point,
him?
that's still being coordinated between the state police and the authorities out there. We don't know.
Will the affidavit be unsealed when he arrives in Idaho?
I don't want to speak out of my lane. When I watched the press conference on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I was alerted to the fact that, according to Idaho state law, that the affidavits have to be served to him once he's extradited back before they could be unsealed.
Did he say, has anyone else been arrested?
Ongoing investigation, ma'am.
Has the motive been determined?
I can't comment on that either. I apologize.
Who transports him, sir? Does Pennsylvania State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department?
He's presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County Sheriff. And the logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know yet.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there actually was?
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
Were you afraid he was going to get tipped off before you got him?
I would say overall about this entire operation, and the credit goes, this is a part that the state police played humbly. You look at Moscow Police Department, 38 sworn, 19,000 leads, the video evidence that they had to develop in order to put that out, all public source information. But when you talk about the service of a high-risk warrant for someone who's committed or alleged to have committed 4 homicides, there's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical steps that were taken were in conjunction with the best efforts of the authorities, local, state, and federal, both in Idaho and here, to ensure that we could do it safely and to ensure that we could get him into custody and that those service or the search warrants could occur.
Sir, can we ask you a question of the first assistant district attorney? Mr. Mancuso, you described having read to a degree the contents of that affidavit of probable cause, and that you possibly speculated or theorized that he wanted to get back to read that as well, since he can't read that. Can you give us an indication, though, of the seriousness of what you did read? I know you can't talk about it, but can you share with us something?
Yeah, I can't get into the details, sir, but I can say it involved the defendant's connection to a scene of a crime consisting of 4 murdered people. So that's the significance of it.
Can you confirm that there is a connection between Bryan Kohberger and any of the victims?
I can't discuss that, ma'am.
How confident are you that he is guilty of these crimes?
That wouldn't be my place to say. Certainly confident enough that there was ample probable cause for the issuance of the various warrants in the case.
What was your reaction when you heard this? You've all talked about you followed this. This happened states away. When you get that call, or you all get the call, that this person could be right here in your home area, what's your reaction?
Well, I was surprised, really, Monroe County of all places. It hits close to home. It's a normal human reaction, I would think, under the circumstances.
Do you know when he and his father left Idaho or Washington and drove to Pennsylvania, what that date was?
No, I don't know the exact date, ma'am.
Approximately, we understand the middle of December, is that correct?
I think that's approximate.
And what about, we had heard reports that they were stopped not once but twice on the highway. Can you elaborate?
I'll defer to his Pennsylvania public defender on that.
Do you have reason to believe that Kohberger is connected to other crimes and unsolved mysteries in the area?
I wouldn't answer that question at this time.
You start looking at some that may be unsolved where he was around.
That would be a normal thing to do.
Question for the PSP here. Said he was taken without incident. Was it safe to say that, I shouldn't say it's safe to say, but did it seem like he was expecting?
I wouldn't comment on what his present sense was. I would just comment that the professionalism of the CERT team and their tactical training definitely proved in a situation like this to do it in the most tactically sound and fastest way possible.
Was there anybody else in the house at the time?
His parents were in the house at the time.
Did they say anything to you?
Again, present sense impression, I can't comment on that, ongoing investigation.
He break down the door?
Force was used. The warrants were issued for evening search warrants, which in Pennsylvania requires additional probable cause in order to serve them at the hours of darkness. I would defer to the first assistant to talk about the legal burden that you bear in order to obtain those, but from a tactical standpoint, based upon all of the briefings that we had developed and all of the intelligence we had developed, we thought that was the best time to serve it.
And what tipped off that Pennsylvania was involved with this?
We were alerted by the FBI. Troopers in the Bureau of Criminal Investigation were alerted.
Anything on like his social media pages that tipped anything?
I can't comment. I don't know.
So that was here, it's been cooperative in this whole process?
Can't comment. Ongoing, like I said. The state police's role here was to serve the warrants and assist with the surveillance, which we've done. We've been part of major investigations. You know, these are men and women who take an oath to protect their communities and the Commonwealth here. We're very humbled with the opportunity that we had, given a case that has really gained international attention, to play a small part in it. And our hat is off to Moscow PD, again, with the size and the complexity of this investigation and the work that they've done to get us here today. And this is only the beginning of the next step.
If it's determined that anyone here in Pennsylvania either helped to conceal or dispose of any evidence, then you would be a part of this case, or would it go to...
I would say that we would pledge whatever support we can for ongoing investigations with the Idaho authorities here in Pennsylvania. Absolutely, we would help them in any way we could.
Were there any weapons found in the home?
I don't want to get into what was actually seized in the house pursuant to the evidentiary nature of it.
Can you give any insight into why you all decided to go in overnight to make the arrest?
Those are tactical decisions in terms of base surveillance. I don't want to give out too many tactical factors that go into that situation, but obviously surveillance was conducted and we wanted to go in at a time when we thought it would be the safest for everybody, safest for anybody else in the house, safest for Mr. Kohberger, and safest for our people.
There was an interesting question asked earlier about the care that needed to be taken to not tip the suspect off. Could you describe how long that lid had to be on things and how many people were involved in it? Like how many people knew and for how long?
So I would say, I would answer the question this way. I don't want to get into a timeline in terms of when we were notified by the FBI and when the surveillance began. Obviously, we know on Thursday night into Friday morning is when the warrants were served. I would say, as a credit to the professionals both standing behind me and others not here, many others not here, the information was held very close. And we did not want to have any situation where Mr. Kohberger potentially would be tipped off. So as a result of that, I would say a close number of approximately 7 to 8 individuals, maybe 10 on the most within the PSP side of this operation knew about it.
And for days, can we say? Or?
I would say for a period of time. I would not feel comfortable commenting any more than that, for a period of time. And then as the tactical assets were brought in, people were briefed.
When the movement plan is finally decided, will there be an announcement? Will
not from the state police, so we would defer to Moscow and the authorities in Idaho.
starts leaving Pennsylvania.
We have security concerns now, obviously, to move any prisoner. Anytime you move somebody from a secure prison to another place, we don't want to, there won't be an announcement from the state police in terms of those logistics, but they're being worked on right now.
Can you give us your best guess when you think he might be moved, roughly? Tomorrow?
We would like to do it as soon as possible, but the court order says 10 days. We have 10 days to coordinate it.
Can you possibly be on a plane tonight? Is it possible he could be on a plane tonight? That's a possibility, right?
I can't, I would think that's probably not likely.
A private plane, or would you fly commercial?
We're looking into that right now.
Can you confirm or deny that a window was broken in order to gain access into the home?
There were multiple windows that were broken, I believe, to gain access, as well as multiple doors. I think the video of the house after the fact confirms that. And that would all be part of the tactical plan based on the floor plan of the house, et cetera, and what the CERT operators would do to serve those warrants.
Was this suspect on your radar before, and are you looking at any connections?
I wouldn't comment on that based on the ongoing nature.
But how about his, did he have a criminal past? According to the UJS, I didn't see anything.
I can't comment on a person's criminal history during an ongoing investigation.
Sorry, Mr. Mancuso said that you stand ready to assist in giving a complete background of the defendant. What specifically is law enforcement interested in?
That'll be the last question after Mr. Mancuso answers. In any case of this nature, and I prosecuted a fair share of homicides, double homicides, that sort of thing, you want to look at any evidence of possible motive. You want to look at any evidence of a pattern, of modus operandi or method. You want to get into the subject's character, mental state to the best you can, that sort of thing. So it'll be an all-encompassing effort, which we stand ready for. Okay.
How will you do it?
We have our ways. Okay, thank you.
Thank
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Just for a quick spelling, I'll give everyone the spelling of everyone's name. It was included in the media advisory, but just so we have it.
All right, now we're back. Okay, so you guys couldn't hear in the Zoom because I have to mute my microphone because I have background noise, and then you don't hear, so you have to listen on YouTube. So that was what that was. But there really, okay, there wasn't a lot of information on there, right? They're not going to give a lot of information in an ongoing investigation. They're not going to tell them exactly when he's going to be extradited back to. I shouldn't be muted anymore, Jeff. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying can the chat hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, yeah, I know you guys can hear me, but I'm talking in the chat.
I can hear you on YouTube,
Okay,
Carolyn.
good. Thank you. Can you not hear her on YouTube? Okay. So yeah, so not a lot of other information, but they were at least trying to take questions. They couldn't answer a lot of them. And interesting that multiple rooms and windows were broken to get, yeah, right. They were without incident, but they're saying that the way they had to execute the search warrant, that was, they had to do that. Hi, Annie B. Hi, Nora. So, yeah, other than that, that's it. When he gets back to Idaho, that's when we have the chance of learning more as soon as that arrest affidavit, becomes unsealed. It's unsealed for us. 50 there to arrest him. Yeah, 50. Well, I guess quadruple homicide. They probably thought, you know, he might put up a fight, I guess. And wanted to be ready for that. And then they might have weapons that he might, you know, feel like, you know, he'll fight for his life. And if that is taking other lives, you know, in the process, it could be. They had to understand, you know, that there's a lot of danger they were going in. Okay, thank you, Sleuthy TV, and thank you for becoming a member and for the super chat, and Nicole for the super chat. Thank you.
Well, hopefully we'll see the arrest affidavit within a week.
Yeah,
Or
hopefully.
hopefully.
Interesting that Jeff says, interesting that they suppose Bryan wants to hurriedly get back to Idaho to see what's in that document. Yeah, seems confident and ready to respond. Yeah, well, I think he wants to see what they have on him, right? How does he know? Like, what if he's thinking, Jeff, like, gosh, where did I screw up? What is it? How bad is it? How am I going to explain it away? So, yeah. Could be that he's not confident in it, that he's freaking out, like, what the heck is it? Where's the DNA? Where's it from? How does it connect me?
So he should be back in Idaho, what, tomorrow, do you think?
I don't know. They have 10 days to get him back, and they're not going to say, like somebody said, could he go tonight?
Yeah,
You know,
of course not.
They're not going to say. I think he'll be back. Today's Tuesday. They'll probably move him by tomorrow. I think they would get him out.
Yeah, they can't say a security, my gosh, yes, of course.
Yeah, because his parents really have not suspected the son. I don't know, Jeff. Depending on what they feel, if they don't think he's capable of that, like I said, if your kid had that kind of a car and they were there, and you didn't suspect your kid was doing anything like that, you'd be like, wow, that was an unfortunate choice of car, right? But I think you would say something, but maybe you would believe that it was just an unfortunate choice of car, and being that it was 2 years over what they were looking for, maybe they took solace in that. Oh, well, he's got a 2015 Elantra. He doesn't have the 2011 to 2013 Elantra. What is that? What is that? Since Bryan's defense team is in Idaho today, I wonder what they would be looking for. So where did you read that? Farm Wife is saying that Bryan's defense team in Idaho is in the crime scene house today. She wonders what they're looking for to prove his innocence. Jeff says, what if Bryan's dad figured it out on the drive to PA? Maybe speed a little, hoping to get pulled over. No, what if he figured it out? What if Bryan's dad figured it out on the drive to PA? You think his dad would, wait, I'm not getting it, Jeff. What is that?
Bradford Exchange.
Huh?
Probably Christmas decorations, Snoopy on it or something.
Okay. You say that, I'm trying to figure this out here, what you're saying there, Jeff. You're saying that he would want to be pulled over by the police and have his son, I'm a little bit lost there, Jeff. What you mean by that?
Are they going to show the traffic stop today or something?
No. They're not going to show anything, but I'm trying to figure out what Jeff's saying. Hi, Shanna.
Jeff, if you want, call in. It's hard sometimes in the chat to.
I gave him the number. I gave him the number to call in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Jeff, call in. We haven't heard from you.
Because you know how the chat is. It's hard to get what people are saying entirely sometimes.
I swear the chat is like a minute behind, and I'm not even joking, because when Carolyn said, "Can you hear me now?" like people started saying yes in the chat way after. So sometimes, Jeff, it's so much easier to call in, and we love when you call
on
in.
TMZ, huh? Okay.
He said if Brian's dad figured it out,
I see.
that it's Brian, he would then be fearful for his own
What?
safety, then drive too safe.
You scared me. What? Let me see.
But wouldn't he have said something if he was pulled over, Jeff, to the police, if that was the case?
Okay, so there is, I'll put a link if you want to quickly go, stay here, but open it in a new tab and you could take a look at it. Let me see here. Where's my, apparently this just posted, if you want to go, gosh, that just posted a huge link.
Yeah, on TMC.
Yeah, hold on.
Elizabeth W.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth W. said, I think the press conference was informative.
Okay. Here, you can go and take a look at it and then just open it in a new tab. Oh, thank you, Rosalita. Thank you for your coverage.
That's
Always
so
to
sweet.
remind you to put the facts. Thank you, Rosalita. That's very nice and very generous. Thank you so much. So appreciated. Thank you.
We love you, girl. We
Yeah,
love you,
love you,
Rosalita.
Rosalita.
Oh, there's the TMZ link.
Okay, so you can go there. Just open it in another tab and stay here. So you can only briefly see him and his dad's face. Brian looked so evil in the footage. All right, so let me.
I'm watching it right now. You could just throw your closed captioning on. When you click the link, it'll open in another tab. Put your closed caption on. You can read it. And you can see it. And you can still be on YouTube.
So Brian is driving. The car handle, the door handle, the car is very dirty. Extremely dirty. There's camera is like honing in on the door handle, which is black. Yeah, most of the footage is on the door handle, not even on their faces. I don't know whether he purposely tried to do that or he didn't realize where his camera was facing. Because I would imagine if they were surveilling him and wanted to get the camera footage, they would make sure where the camera's face, because if it's facing the door, you can't even, in the officer's shoes. It's really unfortunate. It is really kind of ridiculous.
Now, was he pulled over once or twice?
Twice.
Twice. That's what I thought.
That car is filthy. Absolutely filthy.
Well, sure is.
You wouldn't even want to touch the door handle. It looks like it's coated in. People were saying that they think that father helped him wash the car and clean. That car doesn't look like it's been cleaned.
Yeah, in 10 years.
It looks like it's got like soot all over it. It's. Again, we're just staring at the door handle and the door.
That's it.
So not much of a great shake there. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and he doesn't give him a ticket. He says it's a warning, and he lets him go. We watched it. If you go ahead, Jeff, and click the link, it's right on TMZ, and the link.
I put the link in the chat.
You'll see her in yellow. If you scroll up, just click the TMZ.com link.
You know, I'm wondering about the door handle also. I mean, obviously, this is hypothetical. If he left the scene and there was their blood on his hands, for instance, and he touched that handle with, and he hasn't cleaned the car and the markings from dirt being, I don't know.
I'm
It
getting
does seem odd. They're just showing the handle, but it would be one of the first things he touched, I would think, on his vehicle after leaving the scene would be that door handle. I don't know.
Shanna thinks that it looks kind of like soot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Yeah,
covered
it's,
in soot.
let me see something.
Maybe drove somewhere to burn evidence. Car looks covered in smoke soot. That's what Shanna says. I agree. That looks like soot.
Maybe they just wanted to really have a picture of the marks on those handles. I don't know. Does seem strange.
Now, here's a picture of the back of the car that I'm going to post up there. Let me see. Let's see here. Okay, get rid of this. The whole car is really dirty. But that said something about the. Remember, the other car was so dirty, and
Yeah.
now that is a Washington plate, right? That's not
Yes.
Pennsylvania. That's definitely not a Pennsylvania plate. So that
Looks
is
like a
correct that the
Washington.
car had Washington plates, so that does fit with that Carfax. It's filthy. Let me get another view of the. Okay. Okay, hold on. I've got another look of the dad here. And this is like the one look you get of them, and then it's like not the officer's camera is ridiculous that it's not on the subjects.
It's interesting that they said something about a broken window and door.
Well, it was shown, Linda. It was
Oh,
shown
really?
by several shown by Brian Enton, and so yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that standard procedure, like, to do that? If they come with
To do what?
to break the windows like that?
No, I think the house in the crime house.
Okay, no,
Oh.
not the no. It
No,
was
the
Brian's
house
house.
in Pennsylvania. His parents.
Oh, they broke windows to get in there. Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so
Probably
here's
deadly.
all right.
Oh.
Here's the car, and here's Brian's look. Now, this would have been December 17th. Again, this is already over a month. The car looks fairly clean inside. Father's sitting there with the GPS here on his phone, 2 water bottles. Brian looks like he's got. What is that on his wrist? Is that his shirt, or because it's kind of the same over here? It looks like a black jacket, a blue shirt, and then
A watch, maybe?
But
a bracelet?
weird because it looks like I don't know if it's just shadows or whatever it is.
looks like a shadow to me from the steering wheel or something, or the dash.
Yeah, maybe. But it's so brief that they show them in the video. It's literally ridiculous.
Jeannie said, is it a bandage? No. Band-Aid. Christy said it was Band-Aid on his wrist. They're all saying it in chat.
I'm going to look at the video. Let me see. If
Do you see any kind? They're all saying it. I have no idea. I can hardly see as it is though, so there's that.
Let me see if I can get it better still of it. Okay, when I have
the face.
Shanna
So
said
now,
faces.
now we know, well, we think we know his face in that. Oh,
it's really,
yeah.
It's really weird.
Oh, it's creepy. It really is.
No. Oh my God, the poor people. I feel so bad.
It's got that same black on the side door. Remember when Jen said that looks like it went over the pass? I said, what would all that dirt be in the side of the doors?
Yeah.
And she said that makes it seem like it went over the pass, and this has the exact same dirt in there. Now let me see if I can.
What pass? What does that mean?
In Oregon, remember when I said, what is all that black in the door on the back and the rear door? Trying to get it.
I wonder what it was. Yeah, Christy. I don't know what was going through his head at that point. He was probably thinking they were onto him, I agree, Christy. Yeah. Farm right wife said when they were stopped, Brian's heart had to be beating a mile a minute.
Okay, here's another picture. Here, let me see the hands here in this picture.
And I wonder if when they were kind of following him or keeping track of him, if they went out and got something to drink and disposed of any, I mean, I wonder if they collected any, kind of DNA, or anything. You know how they'll do that sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
They'll survey someone and get something they threw out to get their DNA, but they may have already had that. It's just a thought,
Right.
They wanted him. Maybe they wanted him.
This
to
hand,
know.
I don't see anything on the wrist here in this shot. So, but what is it? Looks like something is there now.
I'm just looking at it on my iPad, so it's hard to see on my iPad. To me, it looks like a shadow, but the image isn't great on my iPad.
Well, the police probably didn't want them to know that they were onto him, so at all. They probably were so nonchalant about, pulling him over and just said, let him go. And it was twice, so his heart must have stopped. He must have been freaked out that they caught him.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe they stopped at a rest stop or threw away the water bottles or got a drink, We don't know how they matched they said what, genealogy, right? Do they
Yes,
need a
yes.
sample? Okay, but they don't need a sample from him if they have that. But they'll get one anyway. They probably already got one.
They do still need a sample from him. Right. Even if they traced it through his relatives they still need his DNA also.
Did they get his? Does anybody know if they probably do? It's a standard procedure now, isn't it? When you get arrested.
No, it's not standard.
Like for a crime like that, I mean.
Oh. Yeah.
A murder.
Yeah, I mean, they want it. Yeah, they might. If he wants to give it voluntarily, or they'll have to get, like what they did with Diane Redlick. They have to get a warrant to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they will. With this guy, they will.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure they already have. I think
Yeah.
he can help pretty quickly with that. I really do. I think they can ask you. And if you say no, I think it's not, I think they can get a warrant pretty quickly so that you have to.
Judy says, her comment went away. Judy says, just a thought. If his nose was broken by defense of the innocent souls, could that have enraged him? I mean, I think his nose looks like it was broken for a while, Judy.
I don't
but
think
that's just
his nose. Yeah, it doesn't look like.
my
And he
opinion.
was boxing. So it could have
Okay,
happened
here's
then for all
another
we know.
photo.
Christine says once he was at his parents' house, maybe he thought that they would never find him there since he was out of state and pretty far from where it happened. Yeah, that's what he thought.
Right.
Hi, Red Like Wine again. How are you?
Me?
Oh, Red Like Wine.
Oh.
I was saying hi to someone in the chat. Farm Wife says they will have to get a court order for DNA and a complete body search to check for old wounds. Yeah, Shanna, he is creepy looking, really creepy looking. Hi, what's in a name?
Yeah, well, I heard under certain circumstances, if you refuse to give DNA, they can kind of hurry that through. You know, to make you do it. It's not a long process.
Yeah, if his nose had been.
Everybody thought this arrest took so long, but in reality, with everything they had to go through and everything, it was actually pretty quick, I think, for something like this.
Mm-hmm. Red Like Wine said, I wonder if he will plead not guilty and have a trial. Yeah, I believe so. That's my opinion. I believe he is going to do that. And the reason why his extradition attorney made a statement that said he is eager to go back to Idaho to be exonerated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How will they explain the DNA if they have it?
They can't. It depends where the DNA is. I mean, what it is. We don't exactly know what. If it's blood, if it's something under one of the victim's fingernails.
Do you think he's been to a party there?
But how would he explain if it was under the fingernails?
Right.
How would he explain that?
Right.
Or blood DNA, any kind of blood DNA. How could he explain it on multiple victims?
Right.
Potentially. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't. Yeah. Transference wounds or blood from each time he, comes in contact with the victim. So.
There's another look. Well, it looks he has a bandage on his ear, but we know he doesn't because it's just something that.
Oh, I'm sure they took the car. I-61. Yeah, I'm positive they took the car.
Well, what is that white thing making? What is that?
What white thing are you looking at, Carolyn?
Oh, it's the father's glasses, I think.
Let me see.
It's funny. Then, yeah, it's his father's glasses making some kind of a glare there.
Oh,
but there
on the
still
side.
looks like there's something here on this finger. I've looked in all the pictures, and it looks like there's something here.
Let me see it. Where? On his face?
No, on his hand.
On his hand. Where on his hand?
On the index finger, eh?
here somewhere. I keep seeing something like a
Right
white,
there, yeah.
like something, I don't know. I'd have to.
You have to see his.
Jeff, maybe. Jeff, could you super analyze this?
Jeff, please help us. That's right, Andy B. Depends on the type of DNA found and where it was found. Christy says it looks like a Band-Aid. And there were also several other people who said that in here. Now they might also find the victim's DNA in his car or in his house, right? If there was any transference. Why can't I say that word? Yeah, Christine Micro says 30 days after, though. 30 days after. We have to take that into consideration.
Yeah,
But
I know. Yeah, it's over 30 days after. It says December 17th. It's 30 days and four days, 34 days.
But you don't know that they did, well, I don't know if they could use this, but you don't know that before the 30 days, they didn't know that it was that car. And they could have come and taken some samples from around the, the handle on the car door, the exterior, or something like that.
MD is asking why the bottom half of the steering wheel is blurred. Do you see? It's hard for me to see that. It maybe just the picture.
It might just be because it's a still from a video.
Yeah, it's a still in motion, so you have to keep that in mind too.
Quick question. What are you guys looking at? It's driving me crazy.
Oh, the stills from the body cam video.
Of who?
Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kohberger.
it's on YouTube. Hi, Bergstrom.
Hi, Bergstrom. Okay, here's another one. Let's see.
Absolutely. Clean tooth. In America, he's innocent until he's proven guilty in a court of law.
One more silly question. Where did you get that, Carolyn?
It was posted. I put the link in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But see, now I'm seeing white, so white. So I think it's some kind of a shadow maybe coming through. And this is maybe a shadow. Because it's just, I just can't believe that this officer just focused on them for like a nanosecond and then on the handle of the door the rest of the time.
It looks like there's something, like, I don't know, but maybe it's just the picture, sometimes when you...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. MD says there has to be security images from school, etc. after the fact, too. Wouldn't that show possible injuries, unless he always wore long sleeves?
Right, well, if he had something to his face that people could see.
I agree, Shelley. Yep, clean.
Hi,
That had he was
Michael.
twice. Yeah, I can't believe that's all they
Looks
got.
like a shadow to me. Okay, Jeff, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
I'm looking on my iPad, so, the image is not big or, it's hard to see.
He infuriates.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they took samples off the outside of that car before he even left.
Yeah.
If they knew, you know what I mean? Off the handle, off the car door handle or whatever. We don't know any of that, what they did.
His injuries may be in his stomach, legs, etc., MD says. True, and it is also over a month when this video was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, clean tool. A clean tooth.
Because we don't know when they located the correct vehicle that they were after and what they did after that. We don't even know when that happened.
We don't know for sure, Christy. They're saying like a few days prior. They said like 4 days, I think, prior. Didn't they say that? I don't know.
That they were kind of following him, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Surveying him.
Yeah. They
But
said
they
they
named
checked him.
earlier,
Yeah.
you know, like about, okay, there's the vehicle. We'll get some samples off the door, wherever they would sample from. You know,
Car is amazingly
I don't know.
filthy. Look at where
It's
the
all
doors
just
meet the
guesswork
body.
at this point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And that, remember that other crashed Hyundai and that had that? And she said, I said, what is that like by the doors and the back? And she said, well, that's like when it comes over the pass. I've never been out that way. I don't exactly know what they mean when it comes over the pass. That's what it looks like.
I don't know what that means.
Someone that lives out that way might know it. Thank you, Christine Micro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, somebody might know it.
Well, they did a Carfax on it, Jeff. On the car. There is a Carfax out there on it that was done. I read like wine again. Hi,
See,
Sherry.
they did monitor and survey him driving, but prior to him
There were
actually
supposedly
park-
2 stops. I don't know if they
Yeah, that's
if
what
both officers had body cams that they should. They're both in Indiana, I believe.
Farm Wife says, my guess is the car, once they had his DNA confirmed, they checked what car he had titles in his name, and bingo, it was the type of car they were looking for. So she thinks the DNA came first. Oh. He is innocent, actually. He's okay.
Did anyone hear that his vehicle was actually he was the primary driver without a doubt? Did anybody hear that he did not have a car registered in his name? It was to his dad or parents.
I heard stuff of that going around, but I didn't see that.
He was the primary driver though.
I didn't see that. Mom
I just
and
don't
Michelle,
know,
they
that's
put
why I
a
was
bunch
asking you.
of and salt on the mountain roads. Everybody's car looks like that. Hi, loving Coco.
Hi, loving Coco. Where have you been? Yeah, Christine Riker says his father is sus, but mom probably clueless. I don't know. We'll see.
I've got to figure out how to see chat. I guess that's why I couldn't see it. I'll figure.
You just got to go to YouTube and does the chat not play?
I don't think
It
he
out
told
eventually.
his dad.
Is it
All his
split
dad
view?
was really sick in the head.
I assumed it was split view, but that didn't
Right.
work.
Right.
No,
They
I
have
know. His
checked
father
the
had his
vehicles, title to parents. Lots of college kids drive their parents' cars. Exactly. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that.
And you're right. The father isn't a suspect, but if he knew something, it will come out. Don't know that if he knew or not. We have no idea.
Exactly. Very strong. Yeah. Let me see something.
Are you saying he may have knew of the crime or may have knew of what?
Like the father, I mean, we don't know, and we're just speculating right now. But
I didn't know, Nicole.
Well, somebody said in chat that the father is not a suspect, which is correct. But if Brian's father knew something, it'll come out. Eventually we'll find that out. I mean, as of right now,
You're exactly right, Nicole. And that's kind of a stretch.
yeah, I mean, not
But
involved in crime. That's not what I
right.
mean.
I hear
Really,
I hear what you're saying, Nicole. I get it. But we don't have crystal balls, do we?
oh no.
I wish I
Hey,
did.
no, be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sure would. Especially if you had a crystal ball that could go back in time and see what happened.
And that man allegedly ruined 4 entire family lives completely just turned their lives upside down and took their children from them.
I know. Hideous crime. This will be a crime in the books for sure.
Hmm.
What drives me crazy is the other night I could see what you guys were seeing, and suddenly I can't remember how to do that, but that's okay, I'll figure it out. It's not your all's problem.
Clinton says he doesn't think the dad do anything. Yeah, maybe not. His dad looks clueless. How could you hide something like that? I mean, unless you're a psychopath too. Yeah, Red. I mean, we don't know. I would think not. I mean, if I would think not, and I would hope not, really, for his sake, you know. But I do know also that there are parents that will do anything, and I mean anything for their children. We've seen it happen in other cases.
Yeah, how about John Bonet? So many people think that maybe Burke did it, hit her in the head with a golf club, and the parents, of course, covered it up. Now, please.
No, allegedly.
We
don't know. No, we don't know.
Alleged,
not of course covered it up. We can't say that.
Alleged.
In your opinion, that's your opinion.
In my opinion, alleged. It's been said in many books. That's what they think, but that truly has not ever been proven.
Right.
Well, as a matter of fact, the parents were exonerated.
That's absolutely right.
They were indicted by a grand jury and also exonerated. So that's all we can really say about that, I think.
Sure. Yeah. Let's not implicate the family. It's bad enough what. Yeah, me too, Christy. Yeah, it's terrible.
You know, this morning when I woke up and I saw that this was happening, I'm kind of torn between the legal side of it and the emotional side of it. I felt so sad.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it is unbelievable, the devastation of a crime like this. And so, my mind kind of swings from the legality and that side of it to the horrible devastation that something like this has caused.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel very emotional about it. So it's like a pendulum with me on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All it.
Devastating, just very devastating.
His
Yeah.
daughter still has PTSD. Yeah, I know. After 18 years, yeah, it's horrible.
We talked before, you know, everybody says closure, but those families aren't going to get closure. It's probably a relief, no doubt about it, but closure, they're going to feel it forever.
And you
Need to come
imagine?
up with a new term, closure.
MD says he's 28 years old, and I'm sure unless Mommy coddled he didn't tell them everything, if anything, he didn't sound like a big feeler who talked about how he felt. Yeah, he could have cut them out completely. I don't know. Kept them in the dark about it all, you know? We don't know.
Right?
Don't know.
Don't know.
According to the
And the
statement
pers-
from the parents, they can't believe he's done this. They've said that, you know, they can't fathom it. So it sounds like, but based on their statement, that this blindsided them. They didn't know, didn't think, can't fathom it.
And, you know, that's exactly how I'd feel. I'd be like, no way.
Oh, Marie, if it was my child, I would be devastated as well. Sad for the parents, also sad for the victims. Yep. Marie.
And can you imagine? I get a lot of flack for this, but I also feel bad for the perpetrator's family. You know, I watched a show where there was the Wayne Gacy family and those folks, the girl that was the daughter of the smiley face killer. And, you know, those folks,
Yeah.
they had nothing to do with the crime. And
Well,
their life,
that's what we're talking about. Like, we're talking
yeah,
about
their life is, you know, and especially if you could imagine they have the same name.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And his sisters, you know, his sisters practice. One is a mental health counselor. The other one
Right.
is, you know, I believe she's in the health field as well. And they've
Right.
got the same last name. The mother, of course, and the father have the same last name. They live in a small town. And now their lives are forever changed by this. And even if, let's say, you know, is exonerated, it's going to be years before they even get to the trial. And in that time, they've got to now try to live in a town with that name where maybe they used to be proud of their name or whatever. Now they're going to be
Absolutely.
embarrassed by it, and they're
Absolutely.
taking down Facebook pages, and their whole lives have changed, and it puts an impact on so many aspects of their life. And yeah, they didn't.
But we live in a world, especially in the internet, where people just don't care. You know, they throw daggers at people that aren't even they don't deserve it. I couldn't imagine, no, it's the person who did the killing, you know, not the family, not the children. People have to remember that. Not us, of course, but there are folks out there that are mean.
Exactly, MD. Yeah, it has to be killing them inside, right? The sisters. And
I read a book on the smiley face killer in the eyes of the daughter.
there's something wrong in this country with all of the meanness. Oh, yeah. And people behind keyboards and behind Twitters, they just love to say everything. And I was just talking about it, you know, with Sandy the other day and saying, like, I can already see it coming out for these girls. They were already saying horrible things about the victims in this case. And it's already started, and then attacking their families, and
I can't.
it's just, and it just seems to get worse, and it's just.
I don't
people
know
say
what it
whatever
is.
they think.
I
It's
don't
just
know
crazy.
how to stop it. I don't know if it's possible to stop it. But I'll tell you what, if there's anything, if I could, start a program somehow, somewhere to stop all that.
Yeah, I
It's
wish it was
so
that
sad.
easy. Jeff says,
course.
why on this case do we get the worst gas station photo of an Elantra and now the worst body cam of Bryan pulled over? Yeah, it's so weird that the cop, it's almost intentional, like he didn't take them in the body cam. It's so strange.
It does seem intentional. It does.
Why though? Why? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, are we seeing
What
it
would
all?
be the motive?
Is it edited?
I don't know. It
or,
doesn't make sense at all.
Why
is
would they
that
do that?
edited? Are we seeing it in its full version? We don't know, I guess.
No, I
their
don't
whole-
think it's edited because there's only one officer and the camera is down and it doesn't have like two angles like that. It's different if there's two officers.
I wonder why he did that.
The focus now for everyone is to make sure that they get good, clear evidence for prosecution. You don't know why. What would be the motive?
Now, is it possible that, I don't know, that you would have two cameras? Two body cams
No.
on one person? No?
No, but they're usually like he would. I don't know. He'd have to be. It just was like really unfortunate that he's just staring at the door handle. It's crazy. Or is that all they're releasing? I would think that's the only one they have of that stop. It looks like there's only one officer there. There's supposed to be another stop. I don't know if they have that.
I'm surprised that we just have one officer pulling him over with his dad like that.
Yeah, like, so do we know that? I don't think they were surveilling them at that point. Not based on what they said, because they said when he was, that it was like 4 days prior to the 30th when they noticed him. So it seems like these were random being pulled over. I don't know. It's very odd.
It is odd, but sometimes things don't make sense, and then later you understand, Yeah, it doesn't make sense
Marie
at
says
this
it's
point.
bizarre from the start. Why did he pick this house? What's the connection? Don't get it. Yeah, that's what a lot of us want to know, Marie.
I wonder if when they release the arrest affidavit, if that might give some more clues as to the connection. I don't know.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
True that, Deborah. That's true.
Carolyn P. says Jeffrey Dahmer's brother changed his last name. Yeah. Jeff says, how does any police officer pull over a white Elantra and not dig a little deeper? Yeah, with Washington plates in Indiana, right? Is that a bird? Does somebody have a bird going tweet, tweet? Is that you, Deborah?
Deborah's birds.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll mute.
No. I just wanted to know because I thought for a minute I heard it out here, and I'm like, "What's that? Strange. It's dark. Was it going
No,
to tweet,
it's
tweet like that?"
Yeah, it's 8:45 in the morning, so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hearing things out here. Okay.
I'm sorry, Carolyn.
That's all right. No, it's all right. I just wanted to know. I was like, oh my gosh,
That's
there must be a
adorable,
bird that's
Deborah.
like stuck out there or something.
That's so cute.
Let's see. Yes, yeah,
I
yeah,
have
there were
night
Washington
birds,
plates,
too.
yes, red like wine. The Carfax was run, and he actually changed that over like what was it, a few days after the murders, right?
Okay, I found it. I'll mute, but I found the
What?
thing you're talking about, the body cam
Oh, okay.
footage.
Yeah. I think it was a planned stop. I think he was being followed by. I thought so too, Christy, but then if you look at other things, they say, I don't know. I don't know. So crazy, right? The department is not releasing the body-worn camera. The video is part of the active criminal investigation in Idaho. The department is not. What are you talking about? The department is not releasing what body-worn camera? They released it already. They've released other body-worn camera in this. What do you mean, MD? You've got me confused now. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, so let's see, tailgating and speeding. Okay, I thought there were more. All right, I thought there were more. There may be one more, MD, but where did you read that? Where did you read that, MD? Did you read that somewhere? Because there should be one more, but I don't know where you're reading that, because they've already released it. That's how TMZ got it. They were following too closely. Yes, one was a speeding. They were stopped for speeding, and one was for following too closely. Yes. But I have to end this broadcast because we have to go to pick Ethan up from basketball and then pick Luke up. But I'll be back on later tonight, and we can see what's going on in here. And if you want to call in, call in. We can discuss anything. But thank you guys for coming in, and thank you for the super chats.
Carolyn, did you get a link that I sent you, or no? Because I'll send it to you again.
What was it a link to, Tracy? In my email?
It was about something. Anyway, if you didn't, I'll try it again.
Okay. All right. So, is it about this case?
Oh yes. I just wanted you to see it, and get your take on it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything.
Okay. Forgive me. I'm learning the technology of this new tablet.
Okay.
Please forgive. I'll try to
All right.
to send it again.
Okay, but I'm gonna end this, guys. And if you want to come into the Zoom, if you're members, Patreons, come on into the Zoom. I have to run, and but there'll be others in here, and I'll try to log in from my phone at some point. Okay. But thank you guys.
Thanks,
God bless,
Pat.
and prayers for all that need them. We'll see you tonight. All
Be
right.
safe.
Take care.
Be safe,
Be
everyone.
Yeah, be. Love
Peace
you
out.
guys. Bye.
Carolyn.
Thanks.
Yes.
See you.